Hey again, it's me from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast. This Thanksgiving, make a statement with ZJZ Designs' brand new Thanksgiving Day prints. Whether you're hosting the family feast or just want to show your festive spirit, they've got the perfect design to make your holiday memorable. Introducing Tommy the Turkey. He's fun, he's festive, and he's the star of their latest collection. From playful tees to cozy long sleeves, Tommy will keep you looking stylish as you carve the turkey or sit back and enjoy the pie. And that's not all. Their Thanksgiving prints feature a variety of unique designs that capture the warmth and joy of the season, perfect for yourself or as a gift for a loved one. Shop now at zjzdesigns.com and bring a little extra cheer to your Thanksgiving.
Hey y'all, it's Barrett from the All About Nothing podcast. Winter's coming, but that doesn't mean you've got to slow down.
Nope, because Everplay Sports and Social has their winter leagues open for registration right now.
That's right. Starting Sundays, you can get in on softball at TS Martin Park.
Mondays are packed. You've got pickleball at the Casey Pickleball Complex, softball again at TS Martin Park, indoor volleyball at the Tri-City Leisure Center, and turf soccer at the Recreation Athletics.
Tuesdays, that's when it really heats up. You can play Super Rec kickball at M Avenue Park, sand volleyball at Pollywogs, indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, and bowling at Lucky Strike in Casey.
Wednesdays are loaded too. Soccer at B Avenue Park and Bray Park Field, hardball softball at TS Martin Park, dodgeball at Drew Wellness Center, and of course, kickball at M Avenue Park.
And wrapping up the week on Thursdays, you've got even more kickball at M Avenue Park and B Avenue Park.
So whether you're into kicking, spiking, bowling, or just hanging out, there's something for everyone.
Almost forgot. Special one-night events.
Monday, November 10th, mix and match turf soccer at Recreation.
Pick up basketball Monday, November 17th at Drew Wellness Center.
And mix and match indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday, November 18th.
Registration for Everplay's Winter Leagues is open now, but you have to sign up before November 16th.
Do not wait. Teams fill up fast.
Go to everplaysocial.com. That's everplaysocial.com to join a league, meet new people, and make this winter one to remember.
So, dodgeball or bowling?
I'm thinking both. Got to balance the cardio and the nachos. Everplay Sports and Social. Play more, hang out more, live more. Welcome, everyone, to the All About Nothing podcast, kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast with Zach King. You can find me across all the social media at Barrett Gruber. With me is the host of Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jamil Brooks. It's Mr. Bill Kimler, who, as you can see here...
Sorry, I'm far too important to appear in your show anymore. I'm reading the paper. Hold on.
You can follow him across all social media at Political Bill SC. If you want to participate in the show, you can chat with us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. You can also get those links at theallaboutnothing.com. Bill, that is, I see.
Did that get on the camera? I am so embarrassed. Oh my God. So sorry. I did not know we were on. I was just reading the paper like I do all the time in the evenings during our shows.
You just read the paper.
How are you, sir?
It's been a day. It has been one of the, I will say, of everything that happened today, one of the things that I took the most pleasure in was listening to your episode with Dr. Jamil and Dr. Jermaine Johnson.
Ah, thanks.
Fantastic. I mean, from beginning to end, just absolutely entertaining, informative. I thought, it concreted in my mind exactly who I think we should all get behind. There shouldn't be a primary. There's in my mind, I don't see a need for a primary. There's no need to waste the Democrats' money on a primary in South Carolina. We have our nominee.
Well, we're going to have a primary regardless because we have a primary for U.S. Senate. We've got primary for state superintendent. So there's going to be a primary anyhow. I don't. So the Democratic Party is not wasting money anyway. It's happening regardless. But
That's true.
He's not wasting any money campaigning for the primary. So that's certainly for sure.
Right.
He's got it locked up.
That's important. Yeah.
And he was such a natural guest. The guy is just so easy to talk to. Like you have a conversation with him, and now you're friends. That's exactly how he is.
Yeah. It was a fantastic interview. If you haven't listened to it yet, you can go to Black, White, and Blue in the South.
Thank you.
You can find it on any one of the podcast platforms.
Did we mention Dr. Jermaine Johnson yet? I don't even know if we mentioned his name.
Let me see.
because we were talking about him before we went on the air, but I don't think we actually mentioned
show notes. Yes, we mentioned Dr. Jermaine Johnson was on an episode of Black, White, and Blue in the South that dropped today.
Oh, good. Good.
Real quick, just to get it out of the way, because it is coming up this Sunday, I want to make sure that people know about, as I'm trying to pull it up, the Midlands Community Food Drive. It's coming up this Sunday. Midlands is coming together for a vital cause on Sunday, November 16th from 1 to 4 p.m. Residents across the region are invited to take part in the Midlands Community Food Drive, curbside drop-off event happening at 5 different community convenient Midlands locations. Residents can drop off any of the designated drop-off sites between 1 to 4 p.m. on November 16th. Non-perishable items, please. Canned food, vegetables, fruits, boxed and canned meats, fish, cooking oil, powdered milk, all those sorts of things. Check the show notes. More, you can find details like this right here in the show notes. So do that. Also, Priest Jacobs, host of the Priest Jacobs podcast, next SoulHAUS Sessions with Priest Jacobs on November 19th. It's next Wednesday at the University of South Carolina Koger Center for the Arts. Doors open at 5 p.m. Conversation with Delana Dameron at 6 p.m. It'll be fantastic. You can find information on Preach's Instagram at Preach Jacobs or check the show notes. So,
well, you know, you never allow me with opening announcements. How come I never? Yeah. You can catch me today on the front page of the local newspaper here in Greenwood called the Index Journal. And there I am, rallying the troops in my Benito Mussolini pose.
I saw some of the comments. I saw some of the comments on your post. I agree. There was definitely a Dwight Schrute sort of look to it. If I'm being honest, I think
that was the best comment. I have to go back.
It was good.
Excuse me, I'm all choked up now.
Oh yeah, that was good. I do want to open with this from your event. If
you're going to play the Dwight Schrute clip, aren't you? Oh,
I absolutely am. This is too good not to play.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the keynote speaker for tonight. And I would like to do so with an original poem that I wrote. It's not a limerick, it's an actual poem.
I was waiting for a limerick, just so you know.
Once was a man from Nantucket.
We live in a time where promises have been broken and America ain't feeling so great. We live in a time where men behind closed doors conspire to determine your fate. We live in a state where was so full of promise and potential, yet disappointment and despair reign free. We live in a state that God has made naturally beautiful, yet men have sullied and spoiled it for greed. It is time that we once again hope and dream and shout and scream for the rights we were promised, for the freedoms we're due, for the opportunity to be the fullest me and the fullest you. It is time to get angry. It is time to be free. It is time to fight back. It is time for a new SC. Ladies and gentlemen, will you stand up? Stand up and greet the next governor of the state of South Carolina with a chant, New SC, New SC, New SC, New SC, New SC.
Now, did you know that you were auditioning for the lieutenant governor position at that point?
It's in the bag, man. It's in the bag. One thing that you have to realize is I'm a tall guy. I'm over 6 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
And Jermaine made me feel short. I felt like a little kid standing next to him. That's what you do when you stand next to a basketball player.
Yeah. And a basketball player he is or was, but is, he is incredibly tall. What is he? 6'6", 6'7"?
They got him at 6'6", 6'7". Yeah.
Unbelievable. But the interview was so good. And I feel bad for Dr. Jamil because I feel like Dr. Jamil was in that place that I wind up putting Zach in with a lot of these interviews because Zach doesn't get to say much because it's usually just me.
Right. Well, normally that doesn't work that way. It was because she was on Zoom that really impacted her ability to participate. She had a last minute inability to come to the studio, and she was fully planning to be there, and it was we rigged a Zoom call for her to come in, but he couldn't see her because he didn't have a computer.
Right.
The screens were all occupied, so you can only hear her. You can't see her. So it made it for a tough one, but he's coming back. I mean, we've got to have him back 2 or 3 more times.
100%.
And she's looking forward to that opportunity where it'll be more of the Jamil show.
I look forward to seeing more of him out in like, I can't wait to go to events here in Lexington when he starts. I mean, when the campaigning really starts.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And ultimately, I want to be a part of his campaign. I want to work hard to see him elected. The first Black governor of the state of South Carolina, regardless of party. He will be. We've only in the history of South Carolina, we've only had 2 Black men that have ascended to almost governor, and they were lieutenant governors during Reconstruction, and that's it. But he is the nonpartisan candidate, or the nonpartisan politician, because he does sit down and he crosses the lines for what's best for the state of South Carolina. So kudos. That was fantastic. On to the news.
No, do we really have to?
I don't know. I mean, honestly,
you were talking before show about how exhausted you were from the news today. You said
it's been rough.
Tired. And I recently got a promotion at work, and with it came a torrent of extra work. I mean, this was like one of those promotions without a pay raise, yet extra responsibilities. It's one of those.
You know how hard I fight against those?
Yeah, I fought it long enough. But you know what? In this economy, in this job market, a 50-something-year-old white man ain't running around looking for jobs. So I'm going to keep what I got and be grateful for it. But that's actually kept me out of the all-day news cycle. Where normally I could be scrolling, while working or looking at this article or that article or writing this post or that post. My social media presence has dwindled down to about 10% of what it used to be, just because I run out of time throughout the day. I just don't have that time anymore. So in some sense, I feel a little saner than maybe you do.
Well, you want to know what also made me insane was, so knowing, everything that happened today with the release of these emails from the Oversight Committee of the Democrats on the Oversight Committee to the Republicans releasing 20,000 pages of Epstein documents from the same Oversight Committee, and news stations across the country are still working to go through all of this information, which hasn't really been reported on, except that they did it, and apparently interns and whatnot are just rifling through it. I worked in radio, and part of what I did in news for radio back in 1998, when the news started to break about President Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, there was tons of information that was coming through that, as an intern for a radio station, I was having to go through this stuff. So I know exactly what these people are going through, reading line by line, trying to just pick out anything that stands out as being worthy of making it on the air. And the fact that it's been almost 12 hours now and there hasn't been a lot of reporting on it, I'm guessing that these 20,000 pages of information from the Republican oversight, or the Oversight Committee, the Republicans in there, must not be much of anything. Or it is so immense that, and honestly, I think part of why the Republicans did this on the heels of the Democrats of the Oversight Committee releasing those emails, I think part of what they did was they're trying to stay one step ahead of what's eventually going to happen, because they did swear in the Congresswoman from Arizona. She did almost immediately sign the petition, which means as long as once that comes to the floor, that they're going to vote. But it doesn't mean they're going to release the files immediately. They're going to vote.
I thought you said they released them already. What are you talking? So I'm confused. Did they release them, or did they not release them?
They haven't. They have not released They haven't released what the DOJ has. They have released what the Oversight Committee has. They haven't released what the DOJ has.
And that's what's being voted on by Congress with the discharge petition.
Right. And the discharge petition is only going to bring a vote to the floor for the House to be able to request the documents from the DOJ. I ultimately fear, and what's likely is
request or compel?
It's compel, I guess, but that doesn't mean that this Department of Justice has to do it.
Let me give you two quick thoughts. I'll give you a technical thought, then I'll give you a political thought. It's an amazing time we live in where you can get 20,000 pages worth of emails like this. And literally, it's nothing to shove it all through a scanner and have it use OCR technology to read the text, and then to have AI summarize it for you and find stuff.
Agreed.
Like that stuff that would have taken a room full of interns or somebody doing control find or breaking it up and dividing it among teams of people. Now you can just throw ChatGPT at it or Gemini or whatever and say, analyze these 20,000 pages and find any reference to blah, 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 and it'll do it. So the results, once they come through, should be quick if there was anything there, because it doesn't require a lot of manual labor anymore. The second thought is, even if every page was a photograph of Trump diddling one that he's not supposed to diddle, even if every page was a photograph of him doing that, it would not amount to anything. I'm telling you, every time that you think, oh, this is the end, oh, he was caught with Stormy, oh, he was found guilty of felonies, oh, he incited a riot, oh, this and oh, that, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, there is a mystical aura around him that has people taking all sorts of bullets on his behalf and excusing behavior, or suddenly pedophilia is okay, right? Now that'll be the new law. So I'm not going to get all stressed out watching this unfold, because nothing's going to happen, no matter what comes out.
I think that is probably likely. I did watch more than 2 hours of Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax because I had a specific reason. This is probably what has actually made me a little bit more exhausted. In that time, I will admit that switching between the channels, I switched between them as I was doing this 2 hours. I could have missed it, but I didn't see them mention one single time the emails that the Democrats in the Oversight Committee released.
I saw a Fox report, though, where they had that quote about a dog barking and that dog is Trump, or that dog hasn't barked yet. You know that famous quote. That was a big splash right on Fox News. That I did see.
So it didn't make John Roberts' show during the time that I was watching it. It didn't make Laura Ingraham's show during the time I was watching it. So, and again,
as you heard on my show, Laura Ingraham is the one that said, by Democrats winning, they're actually losing.
Right. Yeah.
That was Laura Ingraham who said that about last week's election. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, between those three, I saw more commercials for J.G. Wentworth, My Pillow, Sleep Number Beds, catheter
My Pillow
ads.
Still has ads out there?
On Fox News. On Fox News.
I thought they were bankrupt.
Now, somehow they're still... There was also a lot of ads that I would consider to be free ads that were very very patriot sort of leaning, but like one of them was who's the guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt. So there was some ad that he did that was for like a phone app, and I can't remember what the context of the phone app was, but it was a prayer app. It was a prayer app. It was an app that you download that will give you like a daily prayer that you can subscribe to or whatever. Okay. I was like, or you could just pick up one of the fucking Bibles that are literally everywhere.
Whatever. Don't besmirch the Bible app, man. Really? That's a harmless app.
Sleep Number Beds, catheter, tax relief, payday loan companies, and the Bitcoin exchange Kalshi. Is that I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But Kalshi, of course, is I think Donald Trump Jr. is one of the executives on Kalshi, who also primarily does all of their exchanges through World Liberty Financial, which is owned by the Trump Bros. So this was the commercials. There were so many commercials, and like as I'm watching them, having sold commercials for television and radio before, I didn't like almost every one of them I saw. Production value, things like that, I'm pretty sure most of those were free commercials. Like, I don't think Fox News is making much money in revenue from commercials.
You didn't point out why you spent 3 hours doing that, though. Was that just purely to look for the commercials?
I wanted to see what the reaction specifically to the emails was, and 2 hours wasted. I didn't get anything out of.
I mean, what's going to happen one day when you want to see what happens when you stick your dick in a blender? I mean, why do you have to put yourself through that torture?
I'm already numb, Bill. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will watch Fox News during the day for the reporting sometimes because, again, I think we've talked about it before. I worked with some of these people that are on Fox News now. John Roberts. I mean, I worked in the same office as him 25, 30 years ago, totally normal individual. And he still, even during his broadcast, still tries to maintain sort of a he's very right-leaning, but he at least tries to give you the impression he's trying to not be completely partisan in his reporting. He'll ask questions and things like that. And what I did also notice on Fox News is they always throw at least one moderate to left-leaning individual reporting at the table where they make their points, but a lot of what they do is interrupting on others' points.
So when watching Fox, you haven't seen King of the Gays, Pete Buttigieg, hop on? Because he loves to go onto Fox and tear them apart. He wasn't on there today.
He wasn't on there today. I love
when he gets on there and he does his clips.
Fantastic.
He's great.
He's fantastic. So it was a difficult afternoon, evening, day, whatever.
Well, then you don't have any right to bitch and complain on this show how miserable you are. You did it exactly.
Look, I'll take full credit for what I did to myself. I have no issue with that. I'm just telling you look, you sign up to be in the Army, I'm okay with you telling me how hard your day was. How early did you
if you're in the Army and you voluntarily decide to run buck naked across the DMZ, that's on you, not on the Army.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. So Congresswoman Grajova was signed in. She will be the 218th signature on the petition to release the bulk of the files related to the conviction of Jeffrey Epstein.
Didn't she sign as she was being sworn in? Like it was pretty close. One hand up and the other hand doing this?
Yeah. Right? It was pretty. I would say that. So there were a number of speeches that happened.
She put her hand and her signature on the Bible, and then kind of multitasked her way through that.
Exactly. So once this passes, Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson won't be able to stop the vote from coming to the floor. But just to remind you that the files that Donald Trump had already said he would release these. He had already said these would be released. So we shouldn't be having to go through this process. The files that FBI Director Kash Patel said that he would push to have released. These are the same files that Attorney General Pam Bondi said that were on her desk that she was looking at and would release, later saying that the files had nothing to release. After the release of the emails by the Oversight Committee Democrats implicating Donald Trump, again, the Republicans released 20,000 pages of information, which I think was a distraction. I think that it was an attempt to distract people away from 10 minutes before the Democrats released these emails.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, it's got me a little confused, as you heard already. I know about the Democrats releasing some emails. I heard some files were released, but I thought that those were the same files that the Congress was going to release, and so now there's more files coming. It's a lot to put together. I need diagrams.
Absolutely.
Draw me a little Venn diagram or a flow diagram. I need to know what's going on, Barrett.
See, and you know what's going to be crazy is that's the same argument that others are going to make, is that why do we have to now release? Why does Congress have to ask for the release from the DOJ if they just release files? They're two different things.
Yeah.
The DOJ has the testimony and evidence from the Epstein conviction. What the Oversight Committee released was the information that they already had, and they've had for 2 years, 3 years now, so.
Well, it's funny watching Nancy Mace here in South Carolina twist herself into a pretzel defending Donald Trump's, repeating his talking points about the Epstein hoax. So now it's a hoax. Everything's a hoax.
She does this thing where she keeps saying, we need to stop making this about Donald Trump. We need to make it about the victims.
Right.
And while I don't disagree,
that's why we should never have gone after Jeffrey Dahmer. We should have focused on his victims and let Jeffrey Dahmer alone. OJ should not have been chased. It should have been focusing on the victims.
Exactly.
Why are we prosecuting anybody? We should focus on the victims and remember them and feel their sorrow and pain.
Well, here's a hard segue. So hold your neck. Trump has proposed and is attempting to enact the availability of a 50-year mortgage on people buying new homes.
Yeah.
So just to give you some numbers on this, a $400,000 house would have a monthly payment after a 10% down payment. I can see the whole numbers thing is boring you.
I know. It's been a long day,
after 10% down payment, you're looking at about $2,400 a month for your mortgage payment. Okay. If you were to take that same $400,000 house and 10% down, you would be looking at about a $2,100 a month payment.
So you're basically rolling around in cash at this point, right?
Right. You're saving a whole $300.
$300 a month, you can just wipe your bottoms with $100 bills. All right, go for it.
Here's the craziest part. And this is the part that drives me nuts, because having paid off my house this year, this is the thing that drives me nuts. So the interest on a 30-year loan for that $400,000 house at the current interest rates would be about $463,000. So you're going to pay about $8.5 thousand for this house. If you did the 50-year loan, you're looking at a full total interest payment of $836,000. You are going to pay $1.3 million for a $400,000 house. Let me ask you, Bill, have you ever lived anywhere, any house, where you were like, I want to live here for 50 years? This is it. This is the only place I want to live.
I think what we need are 100-year mortgages, right? I want my payment to go all the way down to $2,050 a month. And yet, by the time I'm done paying it after generations, we've spent $75 billion on this house. I think that's the wisest thing in the world.
Yeah. So a 100-year mortgage, you're looking at $1.9 million in interest.
Yeah. The way I've explained is that maybe your payment has been lessened, but what you're losing is your entire equity in the house.
Yeah.
So that 100%. After 20 years, you decide you want to sell the house and move somewhere else. When you sell it, you know how much you get to keep? Nothing. Because you never paid any of the principal. All you did was pay the bank interest for 20 years. Yeah. You have no money left in the house, and you get to take none with you. You basically rented. That's what you just turned your mortgage payment into a rent payment. That's what happens with these 50-year mortgages. Anyhow, they're backtracked from it already. Have you seen that news that they're...
Yes, I have. Yeah.
There's this advisor that they brought in, one of the Project 2025 assholes, and he came up with this idea and they ran with it. But now with this backlash, they're pinning it all on him, saying that he's the blame for bringing this idea up to begin with because it was so dumb. Everybody, Republican and Democrat, were slamming it.
Yeah.
So they'll never take blame for pushing this message out. They'll always find the fall guy, and this fall guy is that guy, whatever his name was.
So did you see the estimate on what it would cost the federal government to hand out $2,000 checks to every American, every eligible American? So far, Donald Trump has said that the tariffs have created $1.2 trillion in revenue for the United States.
No, what I heard was $18 trillion, at least according to a Facebook comment. That just last week, they announced $18 trillion in business deals.
Right.
Yeah.
There was also an announcement earlier this week that $3 trillion had been raised from revenue. There was an estimate that said that we could pay down our national debt to near zero in less than a year based on the revenue that's been created from the tariffs. And in order to pay every single American $2,000 in this rebate, whatever, for forcing us to pay the tax on these tariffs, they said that it would cost somewhere between $250 billion to $400 billion. So best estimate so far, based on the Commerce Department and the Customs, is that they've raised roughly about $200 billion maybe in tariffs so far. And that's a legitimate number because I could see that over the course of 9 months, I could see. So there isn't the money to pay for these as well, because they've also promised this money to pay for SNAP benefits. They promised that this money.
First of all, Trump is the one announcing these numbers, right? No department or bureau. It's Trump in a press conference saying, we have brought $18 trillion into our economy thanks to tariffs and business deals, et cetera. And it came from the Bureau of Numbers pulled out of his ass, right? That's where those numbers came from. Meanwhile, actual numbers say that this administration this time around added $1 trillion to the national debt faster than at any other point in history. Like all of these tariffs that were supposed to pare down or bring income to the government, and all the Doge savings and all the layoffs that were reduced out of control, reckless spending. And even with all that, we still added $1 trillion faster than at any point in history. There is something going on there, and I bet you all that money from these tariffs or something is being funneled right into some Trump bank account. That's the only explanation.
We also know that every single settlement that Donald Trump has sued against, I don't know, Google, Meta.
Everybody who's paid off in those settlements, I am so freaking pissed off at right now. The last one was Cornell University. You know, Cornell. I loved Cornell. I've been to Cornell campus, one of those beautiful colleges you could ever walk around. Carl Sagan came from Cornell University. That's what he was known for. Yep. And to hear that they have settled with the Department of Education and agreed to pay $60 million has me so outraged. I've lost all respect for any university that pays up. Do not send your kids there, because if they can't stand up for themselves, how are they ever going to stand up for your kids and the money you're investing in their education? They collapse at nothing, and they're not worthy of any respect. It's the fall of it's the fall of their reputation now.
It's extremely disappointing.
I've taught on Cornell campus. I love that place. I have.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a test prep class. You know, I was teaching GREs at the time, but I got to teach on campus in one of the buildings. It was wonderful. Love that place. Cool. And I was so disappointed when I saw
Cornell's how old? It's 180, 190?
It's at least 2 or 3 billion years old. It's an institution, Barrett. Don't you question its age. It's been there forever. Great Ivy League school.
That's what I'm saying. It is. You know, I don't know. It's insane to me that how much power Donald Trump and his administration seem to have when it comes to just the threat of losing endowment money or whatever. Like I have such a hard time understanding where their balls go when Donald Trump says, well, the United States is going to sue him. I just don't get it. Like, because the lawsuits are completely unfounded. ABC, Paramount, there was absolutely no leg to stand on, because Donald Trump's lawsuit against Paramount CBS was because they cut up Kamala Harris's interview to make it seem like she was smarter than she was. I watched the 60-minute interview with Donald Trump. Lots of abrupt cuts. So do I get to sue CBS Paramount because they made Donald Trump look smarter than he was? And they didn't do a good job at it. But do I get to sue now because I feel like they shouldn't be putting that sort of thing out there? I don't know.
If you're going to go down the list of hypocrisy, the hypocritical moment for me in the past 2 weeks was how all year long Trump has been rioting Joe Biden about using AutoPen, about not knowing who he has pardoned, right? About hitting a button and then signing pardons that are placed in front of him. Meanwhile, Trump, in a national interview, in that exact same 60 Minutes interview, talked about the pardon he gave to this cryptocurrency billionaire. This guy ran a crypto scheme that laundered drugs, terrorist money. It was, I forget what it was called, like the Silk Road or something like that. But anyhow,
he pled guilty.
He pled guilty for laundering, for knowingly laundering terrorist and drug money. Trump pardons the guy because this guy made an investment in Trump's Liberty coin. So the guy gets a pardon, and then on national TV says, you know what? The honest thing is, I don't know who this guy is. I know nothing about him. That's what he said, quote.
Yeah.
And then he went ahead and signed his pardon, not knowing anything about him, criticizing Joe Biden for doing the same thing. Such bullshit. And the MAGA people are tripping over themselves to worship this guy. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Freckleface 1981 had a comment. She said,
I remember Freckleface. She's a regular on our show.
Yeah. Hey, she said, let's just be real. That money is gone. Trump has stolen, squandered, and swindled it away. I'm sure she's talking about the tariff money. So thank you, Freckleface. And speaking of pardons, of course, this week, news earlier, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, John Eastman, Jenna Ellis. By the way, Jenna Ellis, she turned state's evidence against Trump. So, he pardoned her for something that she had already, I want to say she pled to, but provided state's evidence against him in the January 6th, gave up her entire law career in order to protect him.
We are living in a parody of what our country should be. This is a living parody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Freckleface also said, she said, balls, these companies and corporations are eunuchs. The Bank of Trump is always 5 seconds from bankruptcy. Then he sues somebody and it's back to black for a few moments.
All right, we need to bring Freckleface on the show. Isn't it time we bring a listener in on our conversation?
I agree. I
think so.
We'll arrange that.
So send us some headshots, body measurements, age.
Oh my God.
Send us
Don't do that.
A health rundown.
Don't do that.
I want to stay. What?
As legitimate as I think we ought to be, I'd like to stay a little above that.
Wait, who's going to report us to HR? Oh, wait, we don't have an HR.
We have an LLC. We might have to get an HR now. You want to do your headline predictions for next week?
I have completely forgotten about the prediction thing. I completely forgot about it.
I will do my first one.
I didn't even have a chance to think about it during the show. If I had remembered, I would have had something prepared. I've got nothing.
White House press secretary will continue to insist that new emails revealing the president's alleged ties to Jeffrey Epstein are a Democrat hoax designed to distract the public from the crippling government shutdown, which should end soon. So I guess this one may not be quite as relevant when I wrote it. When pressed to release the full files to prove their point, they will claim the documents are now too transparent to even be seen by the naked eye. So our transparency is so high, it's invincible.
Okay. I have a prediction.
What is your prediction?
I predict that RFK Jr. will never be seen or heard from ever again. Ever since that incident where that old man crashed out in the Oval Office and RFK Jr. was seen bolting for the exit, have you heard from him since? Has he made any public appearance since that moment? No.
No, but I want to remind everybody about that real quick.
It was a jaw-dropping moment in the Oval Office when a drug company executive suddenly collapsed. While others, including Dr. Oz, rushed to help, the health secretary, Bobby Kennedy Jr., appears to vamoose. RFK Jr. flees the scene, went one post. Watch RFK.
I can't believe you had this handy. That's
RFK
awesome.
Jr.'s response was to haul.
You would have thought this was planned. He hasn't been seen since.
No.
It's been over a week. He's gone. The director of the nation's Health and Human Services has disappeared.
I now know who Freckleface 1981 is. This is my brother's girlfriend preference. So hey, preference.
That's no fun if it's already somebody's girlfriend.
This is family. Come on, man. Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything from RFK since then. You know, he bolted. The White House claims, or at least somebody claimed, that what he was doing was going to look for help. So, Dr. Oz was already in the room. I don't know what Dr. Oz is a doctor of, but, plastic surgery, maybe. But, at least Oz turned around and tried to help him before he hit the floor. So, and again, I've said this before. I have a little bit of respect for the fact that Dr. Oz, as the head of CMS, has not really allowed the Trump administration to tear apart Medicare and Medicaid completely yet. because that's one of their goals. It's in Project 2025. That is something that they ultimately will do if they can. But Oz has kept their hands out of it.
That is not even an observation I would even bother making, because it's not something you can stand behind, because it's going to fall apart next week. So don't even go out on a limb and say, well, you got to give this guy credit. Don't give him any credit. Nobody gets credit. You join that administration, you lose all credibility. Bye.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I didn't really have a lot of respect for Dr. Oz before, but it wasn't, All right, my second one.
Go ahead.
The Department Demolition Plan. So Trump is going to propose trading SNAP benefits for luxury oil drilling permits off of California's coast. As the Supreme Court upholds the freeze on $4 billion in food aid, the administration will reportedly move to dismantle the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and greenlight offshore drilling in California. I think that's coming next week.
Ooh, that's a bold claim.
Yeah.
A very bold claim. I don't know where to go with that one, but that was very detailed. It's like if you had announced that was the news from this morning, I would have believed you. You said it so seriously and with so much detail.
Well, I used to report the news.
Yeah. All right, my second prediction. And this is actually one I made to somebody else earlier today, because a couple weeks back, I had made a prediction that Nancy Mace will end up being the next governor of South Carolina. So this is going back a few weeks. Okay. The reasons are, you've got 5 different candidates running for governor now, which means a runoff will happen in the primary. Right. And then in a runoff, you really only get those who are interested in voting to come out. And it's going to be the extremists, right? Yeah. The most extreme come out in a runoff, and that's how Nancy Mace will sneak in. She may have gotten like 30-some% of the vote the first time, but in a runoff, she could get 52%, right?
Right.
And then once you've got a Republican governor nominee, everybody just hits the R button during the general election, and next thing you know, it's Governor Nancy Mace. That was my prediction. I've got a new prediction.
Okay.
So I've canceled that prediction, and I think Nancy Mace will be in jail before the primary season even kicks off, or before the primary election. I think she will have a severe mental breakdown in public, attack somebody, and she will be arrested for assault and battery, and she will withdraw and saying that she's seeking mental treatment, and she'll be blaming everybody else for putting her in that mental state. She will be the victim the whole way through, but I believe she will drop out before June of next year.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this.
Pin that one. That one's the serious prediction. That one I actually think will come true.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I can be that victim. I will take those hits. I will let it be me. I will let it be me. But I also get to be the one that pushes her over the edge.
Right. You'll take the hit, but it has to be the last hit she ever swings.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
All right, my last one. HHS Secretary RFK Jr. demands reclassification of antidepressants as chemical lobotomies after blaming SSRIs of insufficient Christian spirit. Or insufficient Christmas spirit. I think that's coming next week.
All right.
It could be.
Could be.
I didn't know RFK was a Christian. I didn't know that. I knew the Kennedys were Catholics, but I didn't think he was, a Christian of sorts or whatever. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. No, following his comments linking antidepressants to violence, that's basically what I'm predicting, is that he's going to blame it on not having sufficient Christmas spirit.
Okay.
You got a third one?
Sure. I predict that in 2027, the year before the next presidential election, or that it would be the next presidential election, right? Would it be 2027 or would it be 2028?
Well, 2028
would be the next election. So 2027 is really when the presidential campaigns kick off.
Right.
That summer. So I predict that I will have Marianne Williamson on as a presidential candidate on my podcast, Black, White, and Blue in the South. And this interbreeding of our shows will continue as we just swap guests back and forth.
Hey, it's a partnership, right? That's what it is. Actually, here's the craziest thing. I had to go through Preach because I didn't want to go through Bill in order to try and get Dr. Jermaine Johnson. I had to go through Preach.
Feel free to go through me. Don't worry about it. And how did you like the Preach reference on our show? We heard Jermaine mention Preach.
That was great.
Did Preach know that? Did you tell him that he got a shout out from the governor?
I told him to listen to the episode because he would hear something about SoulHAUS.
Okay.
And of course now SoulHAUS is in the Koger Center. Now it's not
now it's somewhere else. The video is good too. If you catch it on YouTube, you can see a lot of the videos and pictures I referenced in the show.
Did you blur out the picture that I took of you? Did you blur out Goofy's?
No,
you left it in there.
That was front and center. YouTube is unedited. So curse words, there's no bleeping. I tend to let YouTube be the unedited, slightly extended version.
Sure.
And the podcast audio itself that goes through the feeds is a little more polished and edited. But I do add the videos and pictures and photos and clips and all of that. It's worth going back and watching the video of that show because you'll see some of the photos I talk about. You'll see the video clips of Matt Lieber sitting on that same couch. I have a picture of me and me sitting on that same couch.
Yeah.
So it's all out there on the YouTube channel.
Well, the last things I'll say before we wrap this up is you have to absolutely, anybody hearing this needs to go and listen to the latest episode of Black, White, and Blue in the South because Bill and Dr. Jamil getting to sit down and talk to Dr. Jermaine Johnson, the Democratic candidate for South Carolina gubernatorial race, was just fantastic, and he's a natural.
I want you to find where are the podcast awards we can submit our finest episodes to. I really think this year you should submit the one with the murder mysteries, and then I want to submit this one. Did you lose your light? You went dark.
Yeah, no, my screens all went to nighttime mode, so we went dark.
Suddenly it looked like you're in the witness protection program. We must have gone on for too long.
That's why.
It
that's
hit
the
10
first
o'clock.
Time,
so now
that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, this is the longest we've actually done this show. But you suddenly went behind like a shadow, and I was like, "Oh, he's now he's going to do a voice changing. He's now doing that hidden witness."
Yeah, no, that was entertaining. But yeah, no, there are definitely podcast awards out there that you submit episodes for.
I think we should try to see if one of us could win a potty. I don't want that Best of Columbia High Times thing that you do.
I wish High Times did awards for podcasts. I would have every single grower from California to Washington on the show for the High Times.
All right, I gave you some homework. Award. Go find us an award or two to win.
I'll do that. All right. Well, on that bombshell, I'm going to we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for everybody watching, tuning in. Thank you for the comments, preference. We appreciate that. Big thanks
Thank you, Ms. Freckles.
Yeah, for tuning in. Don't forget, you can follow Bill at Political Bill SC, and you can follow me at Barrett Gruber. Thank you very much for liking and hitting that bell. And if you can, share this with all your friends because, I don't know, impress them with your political excitement. I don't know. We entertain. Give us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Till next time, you all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself.
The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media, LLC, and is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
Hey, y'all, it's Barrett from the All About Nothing podcast. Winter's coming, but that doesn't mean you've got to slow down.
Nope, because Everplay Sports and Social has their winter leagues open for registration right now.
That's right. Starting Sundays, you can get in on softball at TS Martin Park.
Mondays are packed. You've got pickleball at the Casey Pickleball Complex, softball again at TS Martin Park, indoor volleyball at the Tri-City Leisure Center, and turf soccer at the Recreation Athletics.
Tuesdays, that's when it really heats up. You can play Super Rec kickball at M Avenue Park, sand volleyball at Pollywogs, indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, and bowling at Lucky Strike in Casey.
Wednesdays are loaded too. Soccer at B Avenue Park and Bray Park Field, hardball softball at TS Martin Park, dodgeball at Drew Wellness Center, and of course, kickball at M Avenue Park.
And wrapping up the week on Thursdays, you've got even more kickball at M Avenue Park and B Avenue Park.
So whether you're into kicking, spiking, bowling, or just hanging out, there's something for everyone.
Almost forgot. Special one-night events.
Monday, November 10th, mix and match turf soccer at Recreation.
Pick up basketball football Monday, November 17th at Drew Wellness Center.
And mix and match indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center Tuesday, November 18th.
Registration for Everplay's Winter Leagues is open now, but you have to sign up before November 16th.
Do not wait. Teams fill up fast.
Go to everplaysocial.com. That's everplaysocial.com to join a league, meet new people, and make this winter one to remember.
So dodgeball or bowling?
I'm thinking both. Got to balance the cardio and the nachos. Everplay Sports and Social. Play more, hang out more, live more.